Howdy, y'all. It's another Maharaj video. Chapter 16 Desirelessness, the Highest Bliss. And so, this chapter it's very interesting because throughout it, it's a pretty, the questioner is clearly a very educated and very, someone who seems to probably be pursuing spirituality, probably at least, at on some level. Maybe in a very kind of superficial level, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, this individual is studying Sanskrit and whatnot, so who knows? I mean, um, they've, even claimed to have met many realized people, but never a liberated person, all this sort of interesting stuff. And that's what's interesting is, Maharaj's own background. He wasn't like, very ever formally educated. So I find these particular chapters interesting when it's him talking with someone who's clearly has a high formal education. Because Maharaj still he still is able to get underneath all that underlying, like whatever stuff they're keeps spewing out. He gets underneath it all. He gets to like the source of it, to the I am, to the which is we are the source. We are the I am. Um, Yeah, so there's a couple, and even in this one, like in the, and at the very end of it, he actually gets he gets a bit more personal. Um, he talks about his own path a little bit. Um, I can tell you about myself. I was a simple man, but I trusted my guru. What he told me to do, I did. He told me to concentrate on I am, I did. He told me that I am beyond all perceivables and conceivables. I believed. I gave him my heart and soul, my entire attention, and the whole of my spare time. Parentheses, I had to work to keep my family alive. As a result of faith and earnest application, I realized myself within 3 years. You may choose any way that suits you. Your earnestness will determine the rate of progress. And so I think that's another so interesting thing to note, especially even in the beginning. He's in other various parts he references this too, but it's like he doesn't. It's not like he's opposed to. He understands. He gets it. People have to work. People have lives, and it's like he's even arguing like you can live like a life. You can do things. Have a job, even run a business, whatever, and on top of that, still be pursuing this spiritual path. Uh, so I found that really interesting. Oh, so when the questioner at one point asks, "What is the purpose of meditation?" and Maharaj, his response is, "Seeing the false as the false is meditation. This must go on all the time." I actually really like the answer too. And I think I kind of agree with that answer. Because I know, like, for example, a lot of people like to really, like meditation. You gotta sit, you gotta sit in the silence and you gotta just work, like, look at your breathing and work on that. And, like, yes, that's one very good technique of meditation. But I'm definitely of this school of thought that there's just many different ways of meditation. And I think most people kind of generally agree on this. And I mean, for example, one of my favorite types of meditation too, especially um, even as a young child, never realizing it until I got older that this is what I was doing. But I really kind of like walking meditation, and being able to walk around and, like, you let my mind sometimes wander, or eventually, once you let it wander enough, it can get into this like, this blankness, this meditative blankness state. So, it's just whatever works for different people. So, like I said, this even at the very end, um, after that he Maharaj tells the questioner about his own personal experiences, the questioner says, "Oh, so no hint for me," indicating like, "All right, not really going to tell me." Um, and so Maharaj says, "Establish yourself firmly in the awareness of I am. This is the beginning and also the end of all endeavor. So really, like I said, concentrate on the I am. That's the most. That's I mean, there's no reason why this book is called I Am That, right? But like I said, oh yeah. So yeah, like I said, even earlier, Maharaj, like he says, to earn a livelihood, some specialized knowledge is needed. General knowledge develops the mind, no doubt. But if you're going to spend your life in amassing knowledge, you build a wall around yourself. To, to go beyond the mind, a well furnished mind is not needed. And I think I like that interesting way he phrases this in this particular, because like, it's not even saying you can't. It's not like you can't be educated. Um, it's not like being educated is you can be educated, you can be knowledgeable, but no, I like the phrase "not needed." It's not that it's like it's bad. It's not that it's not a good thing. It's just unnecessary. Um, he may say, but he does say, the questioner does ask, then what is needed? Maharaj says, distrust your mind and go beyond. And questioners, what shall I find beyond the mind? The direct experience of being, knowing, and loving. I like that one too, because I feel like I felt that in my own personal experiences too in life. It's hard to describe, it really is, but I feel like when I first read this, the direct experience of being, knowing, and loving, I felt moments of that. I think I have. I mean, it's hard to explain, but there's something about that. It's like I think it's hard. Yeah, actually, it's hard to explain, but um, like I say, a lot of this is very interesting. Um, oh, I think here's an interesting um, back and forth about scripture. Um, the questioner says at one point, I am studying Sanskrit under a professor, but really I am only reading scriptures. I am in search of self realization and I came to get the needed guidance. Kindly tell me, what am I to do? Maharaj says, well, since you have read the scriptures, why do you ask me? The scriptures show the general directions, but the individual needs personal instructions. This is what the questioner says. Questioner said that, which I'm like, yeah, this guy's correct. He's correct. I think that's. I always like it when the questioner also includes some wisdom in this stuff too. I always find that because then it shows like oh, this is not like some I don't know. I just like it when like someone that's like on the verge to be like to the enlightenment realization, whatever you want to call it. Like they're on the verge when they meet someone like a Maharaj that's gonna kind of get them just helps them try to get them that little bit further. I don't know, something about those conversations I find really interesting. Um, and yeah, so and since you've already asked me, and Maharaj says your own self is the ultimate teacher, Sadguru. The outer teacher, Guru, is merely a milestone. It is only your inner teacher that will walk with you to the goal, for he is the goal. Yeah, and so it's interesting. Like it definitely says like it's good to have teachers. You're good to have the outside influences. Your guru, because I mean even Sadhguru, Sad had a guru. Even all these famous gurus out there, they've all had gurus. I mean it's a tradition. I mean, but anyways, I think on that note, I'm going to end it here, and we'll let you all have a good one. Peace.